Welcome to Swarf and Chips. We've got a great show lined up for you today. Now, half the team aren't here. Paul, we all know he likes being on camera, but he is over at ETG and talking about the Chiron brand. We've got Colin, who's actually over in Germany, and he's talking to lots of his customers. However, we've only got half the team. We've got Mark and Joe on the set today. How are you doing?
Got the brains, Lyndsey.
And the looks.
Quite.
Well,
Which one's
compliments. Great. Before we start, I just need to share something with you. Now, obviously, as you say, Paul is over at the Chiron factory in Germany. Mm-hmm. I've had some random texts come through, last night and this morning.
Late night.
Yeah, and I want to share it with you. Now, where he's actually gone in Germany, there is places that you can have cosmetic surgery done. And I got this through, and then I got that through. Okay.
That looks horrible.
Well, exactly. And then this morning, I got these.
Before and after.
Oh. Now, we have been hounded by a gentleman called Matt Bartle from Houghton Lubricants. So, Matt, this is your moment. There you go, Matt. I hope you enjoyed that as well. We did.
Can't complain now, can you?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Now, next up, 10 videos, 10 minutes.
Well, each video, 10 minutes.
No, one minute per video.
You know the rules.
You're so naughty this week. Oh my goodness. Right, Progimax. This is a brilliant video. I love this. From DMG Mori, the best thing that I thought from this was Steve saying that companies run lights out, don't they?
Yeah.
And I know you'll go into a bit more detail, but what I loved was companies run lights out, we provide service lights out. And I think that's really, really strong for them to say, don't you?
Well, yeah, it's all about customer first. It's a new scheme that they brought in, and also Progimax have got older Morisiki machines, which obviously DMG and Mori combined now. So they get the opportunities to have all their servicing, spindle repairs, call-out charges. There's 5 elements to it, and it's all in one cost, and it's 24/7.
Yeah, it's a great philosophy, isn't it? And many people are going to be doing this, I'm sure. But the bit I liked is the guy from Progimax. He was saying about...
Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy, yeah. He was saying... People say we can't be competitive with the Far East, and he's saying, of course we can. You've just got to run through the night, and if there's no human beings here and there's no labour, you need to keep those spindles turning, to coin your phrase. You know, if you're not making chips, you're not making money. But that's great, isn't it? You know, we can be competitive. You know, we can be competitive. You just got to keep those spindles turning and keep making chips and keep making money. So.
Yeah. Okay, so the next video is the Haymek, and they had the official opening with DMG Mori, didn't they?
Yeah, fantastic to go along and see young apprenticeships, to be fair. But the whole point with this is being a technical partner. And Steve is a big ambassador for this, but also he's helped the other partners like Hexagon and Vero get involved. It's all about getting the apprentice interested in engineering, obviously, but also when they leave, they can start using machines and making money for that company straight away.
Yeah, that's it. I think there's 2 things, isn't there? One, Steve, I can't remember how he put it, putting back into, investing in people, investing in engineering. He was basically saying, DMG, we're making money, we're going to invest some of that in the youth, we're going to invest it in engineers.
In the future.
Exactly, in the future. And the second part of it is that I did an engineering apprenticeship, and I was turning handles, and the thought of CNC, it was like the glory you wanted to get to it. But these children now, I know it's not all children, there's some older people as well, but they're getting these world-class machines from quite a young age. It's incredible, really. They're
ready for the industry.
And that's exactly it. When I finished my apprenticeship, I wasn't, to be honest with you. You know, I could have stood doing manual turning and all the rest of it, but that's not what it's about anymore. It's about cutting metal, remaining competitive, and these people need to make money the first day they walk into a job.
Thank you. Next video, Haas. their whole machine shop is Haas machines. Why do they love Haas so much?
Well, it's great. Initially, it was down to price. He's quite honest about it. You know, we looked at the marketplace. This is some 20 years ago, by the way. They've got machine tools actually over 20 years old, still making money, still cutting metal. But they've moved a long way forward now. Initially, it was on price, but now they're saying it's not. It's actually down to the performance of the machine tool. They've got, as I say, 20-year-old machines, and they've also got brand new vertical machining centres as well. So it's everything. It's everything for them. It's about productivity. It's about lack of downtime. When there is downtime, you mentioned the spares on all the vans around the UK. So the machine tool isn't down long at all, if indeed it is. But no, very
they're doing
happy.
some quite complex parts here, aren't they, Joe, as well?
Yeah, they are. Like the couple that I saw on the machine were aluminium, but there's still quite a tricky part. Prismatic components, you know, irregular components, but they also do heat-resistant alloys, exotics, monols and steels as well.
I know he said as well, the knowledge from the guys on the road are brilliant, and also the machines are really holding tight tolerances for them.
The Haas have been around a long time,
Yeah.
Haas. They sell a lot of machines. You know, if they weren't any good, they wouldn't be there, would they? People know that
They
people
even
know
race
what you get
cars
with
now,
us.
don't they?
Yeah.
Exactly
Formula
right.
One.
Exactly right. You know, everyone likes a Haas.
Next video, you went to Nottingham University for Rainford because they sold them a Kern. Now, I personally don't know a lot about this machine. It's a 5-axis. What's the Kern 5-axis?
Well, the Kern 5-axis is a very, very accurate machine. In fact, sub 1 micron on some of the jobs. Some of the work they do, you wouldn't believe. They couldn't show us a lot of it, as you would expect. They do a lot of R&D work. But they were showing us watches that are worth over £100,000 each, showing things that go into space, things that go into, you know, inside a human being. And it's all about precision with them. You know, you're not going to rough big moulds and all the rest of it. But if you need to finish accurately, Kern is a machine you need to look at.
It's all about tight tolerances, and that's what Kern gives you. You know, they're very, very precise, aren't they?
Very precise from point to point. They guarantee 2 microns, but quite often they say it's sub 1 micron. It's unbelievable.
So who's going to buy a Kern 5-axis?
It's a good question. It's not for a subcontract. Well, it is for some subcontractors, but it's not. You know, we've just mentioned Haas. It's not a Haas. It's anybody who's looking to achieve remarkable tolerances and remarkable
medical
surface
industry.
There's a lot in the medical industry, absolutely.
And also on the material that you're cutting as well.
Yeah. It's anyone's looking for extreme high tolerance and extreme surface finish.
It's a Kern.
It's a Kern, supplied by Rainford Precision in the UK.
So going over to tooling now, we've got the Whittier M1200. You've done a review on it, and it's the indexable face mill. Please just go from start to finish on this one. What's the sizes? What do they do?
Well, I've only got 1 minute, so I'll do the best I can. But the M1200 is one of, if not the world's best-selling face mill. It's a 45-degree tool as standard, but I'm sure Mark was going to mention a minute ago, you've got 3 or 4 different holders, each taking the same insert. So depending on what approach you want to achieve, you just select that body and you put the insert in, and it's got multiple edges, it's double-sided, and also it's for multiple materials as well.
Why being double-sided, is that a good thing?
Well, if you imagine you've got a single-sided insert, once you've used the 2, 4, 6, 8 edges, you throw it away. Whereas with this insert, you usually exactly. I like that.
Yeah.
So you use all the front
Very
edges.
good.
Like
and when they're used, it's all about economy.
What's
It's
the
all
word?
about price per edge, basically.
Price per
and with
edge.
you've got it as low as pretty much as possible can, because it's double-edged, multiple edges.
And there's a fat catalogue there as well.
Do you know what? They've got a huge range
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
Supplied by ITC. This is Simon Yeoman's application engineer for ITC. And it's a big range,
Yeah.
big portfolio.
So Haji components, we've got a couple of topics that we want to mention here. We've got the Doosan, but also the Lehman rotary table. Let's maybe start with the Doosan.
Yeah, Paul visited Haji, and these guys have got turning machines and machining centres. Now, with Haji, you know, they've spent a lot of time with the components they've got in the oil and gas sector looking for a finish, and they do the opposite of what most engineers are looking for, is one-stop machining. They don't do that because they can't get the tolerances they want and the surface finish effectively.
Yeah, what I like about this video and the Lehman one, which I know we're going to talk about in a minute, it's his passion, isn't it? Tony's passion, really, you know, I didn't go there, but you get the impression that Paul was there all day just to get that 3-minute interview, probably. He didn't want to stop talking, did he? He couldn't speak highly enough about those Doosan machines, could he? Surface finish, your point's a good one. People are looking for done-in-one technology and get that part off complete. But it's quite opposite. It's saying, no, I'm happy to do my turning on this machine. It's not saying it can't be done on that machine. So I want to rough it out, turn it on this machine, take it off, put it on my vertical machine. That's very off-putting. Put it on my vertical machining centre and finish a component. And quite often, that's quicker, you know. I know we talk about this done in one, but sometimes you're better off doing 2 ops instead of one.
Yep.
I'm going to call you Tony soon because you're going to talk a lot like
He's turning into Paul, actually.
Yeah, you are.
I know what you're going to say, Lyndsey. Lehman rotary tables at the same company. Tony, he likes this because most rotary tables, they almost dominate the machining area, whereas this Lehman rotary table is quite small. So he's not sacrificing his machining area if he's not doing 5-axis work. So, you know,
you can get a lot of weight on those tables as well, as I understand,
in
comparison to the size.
Could they carry Paul?
Probably not, Josh. Probably not.
Yeah.
But what they can do, they're very, very accurate. If, you know, full 5-sided machining, simultaneous as well. It's quite clever. You've just taken a simple 3-axis Doosan in this case and made it to a 4 simultaneous 5-axis machine.
And they're becoming really popular in the UK. You're seeing a lot more when we're out in the field talking to customers.
And I think it's down to the size. Like if you were to buy a competitor's one, they're probably double or maybe even 3 times the size. So you've got to kind of make a decision. Do I want a 5-axis or do I want a 3-axis? Whereas this machine tool, it's kind of got both.
It's a very cost-effective fix, isn't it, basically?
Exactly. You can still fit a large component on his bed, and you can still do 5-axis work as well, or both at the same time.
All available from Avon CNC.
Yes.
Yeah, sold by Avon CNC in the UK. Good point, Lyndsey.
So, medical manufacturer Electa took 4 years to make a decision, and then they bought a Haas UMC 750, and there were 5 major reasons as to why they bought the machine. What are these?
For a change, you go first.
Capability.
Capacity.
Flexibility.
Easy to use on a daily basis, as he put it.
And like me and Joe, finesse.
Oh, goodness
And I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to add one. He's missed it. Accessibility. It's great for workpiece accessibility and for the operator as well, the machine.
So why did it take him 4 years? Because I know it's medical, it's very in-depth, but why the long process?
Do you know what? I can't answer that. But what I can say is that the UK is flooded with 5-axis machine tools. And he hasn't just gone to Haas and had a quick look at it. He's gone to a French university and read a white paper for, you know.
It's amazing.
That's a lot of research,
It
isn't
is.
it? You know, most people go on MTD, I like the look of that, let's go and have a look, I'll buy that. But not this guy.
Surface finishing for the stuff that they need, you know, it's a big market. Medical's got to be right when you're cutting. It's got to be dead right.
In fact, you know, from earlier, we've actually said Haas, tight tolerances, and that's 2 companies.
Yeah.
You know, praising Haas there.
Oh
no!
Finish on that one. But just on that, I
say.
remember going to the UK launch of the UMC 750, and I know time flies, but it can't have been more than 2 years ago now. And there's so many out there. Normally it takes a couple of years to get a foothold. I know they're selling a lot of machines anyway, but the UMC 750 has got to be one of the most popular 5-axis machines
And
in the UK.
it's really powerful as well, isn't it?
Great machine, great machine.
Next video, Ogle models. Now they've bought a Fanuc Robo Drill. Talk to me about this.
Yeah, well, these guys aren't necessarily cutting metallics all the time, so they need the speed, and they invest in the Fanuc Robo Drill, but this is the larger version of it. So it's really quick. It's twice as quick as the previous model, and they really are projecting their company, but Robo Drill's really helping them. Yeah,
we touched on Robo Drills, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago on the show, didn't we? Their sales have like doubled or trebled inside the last 18 months. Well, the Robo Drill's been around forever, isn't it? But it used to be, like, you'd use it to drill and tap holes, pretty much nothing else. Whereas nowadays, they are fully functional, 3, 4, 5-axis machining centre.
And now they're going to be in their new facility as well.
Yeah.
You're going to see the whole range in one place.
They're
Well, we
popping up
touched
everywhere.
on the fact that you can integrate automation with them as well, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Fanuc Robotics, it's a big part of their arm in Coventry. And like Mark says, you'll be able to see these under power being robot loaded in their new facility. But they love the machine. Like Mark said, they're doing plastics, they're doing model board, they're doing various steels as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You know, who's it aimed at? Perfect.
Like, we could talk all day about the Fanuc Robo Drill. You know, I know the minute's gone, be quiet, Joff. But, you know, we've been to companies where they're machining metallics, plastics, mould and die as well. Heat resistant alloys. It's all about production, productivity,
A really
fast
good
tool
selling
change,
machine around the
high
world.
acceleration.
Around the world.
Our 10-minute videos are not ever 10 minutes, are
10 minute
they?
each, maybe.
Sorry, they're not.
Okay, Last video before we head over to Germany because Paul is with Chiron. Now, I love this. This is from Hi4. It's the Matrix device. It looks unusual. It is unusual. It's a one-off. I don't think we've really seen anything like this before. What is it?
Well, it doesn't just impress you, us as well. Certainly Paul at the Southern Manufacturing Show.
It's gripping stuff.
Oh God, Paul's, it's like Paul's here, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, this is great if you've got really tricky components. It's got a gripping force of 1 metric ton.
Incredible, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, and it adapts to your own vice as well.
So well, sorry. No, I was saying, when we're on our travels, how many like irregular components do you see, or a casting which you can't hold in a 90-degree, vice? What you've got to do, you've got to get your soft jaws, you've got to machine the profile to get it to hold it correctly, and all the rest of it. But why not get one of these, eh? Well, can you remember when you were a young lad, or a young girl in your case, those things you put on your face, those pins, and it moulded to your face. Your face is probably a little big for that.
That's
but
true.
Mine, it used to sculpt my face perfectly.
Did it?
But it reminds me of that, and I bet you that's where the idea comes from.
It is. They said that as well. They've got that in the brochure. I think this is brilliant.
But tricky components, that's what it's about.
Tricky components from Hi4.
Yeah, prismatic, irregular castings, forgings, perfect.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Now we're going to head over to Germany because Paul is with Chiron.
Guten Tag here from Germany. I'm at the Chiron Open House this week. This is a 3-day event where they're expecting over 1,600 people to attend. And I'm not surprised. It's been absolutely action-packed from the word go today. We've managed to find a little bit of space in the showroom at the moment. And I know when you watch Swarf and Chips, we like to educate you when we do these cutaways. So that's what we're going to do today. Very quickly look around the showroom. Here to the right of me, we've got a vertical lathe from Feinbau here, which is supplied by Chiron, part of the Chiron group. We have a DZ12 attached to it. This goes together as a solution for one-hit machining. There's a robot in the middle of these two, which takes a turn part into the milling cell. Then you've got a twin spindle milling machine here, finishing off the components. That's a twin spindle machine, and those spindles are running at 18,000 RPM. We then have some machines again. It's a little bit busy, but we have a baseline high-speed machine behind us here with a rotary axis that enables you to hit 3 sides of parts at once. That's a twin pallet machine. We have a Vario cell behind here, which is again an automation cell. There's a robot loading in it, turning parts over and then putting them into a 5-axis machining cell. But what I really want to focus on today for Swarf and Chips is actually this machine here. This is the Chiron DZ08FX Precision. This is a linear drive motor machine, and this machine is super high speed. It's got a 40,000 RPM spindle. It runs at kind of 75 meters a minute rapids. And the principal idea behind linear drive motors is to give you faster machining results. There's less wear on the machine, so the machine's longevity, or the machine will last longer, and that will mean that you get better surface finishes on your parts, you get more accuracy on your components. And as I've said already, because there's no wear in parts with linear drive motors compared to ball screws, it means that the machine is likely to last a lot longer. Especially when you're doing small components like you can see in here with impellers. Imagine a ball screw or a machine with a ball screw having to move continually. Over time that's going to wear. With the linear drive motors it doesn't. So hopefully this has been a little bit of an education for you back in the studio. I hope you're enjoying Swarf and Chips this week. And that's, I should say, Auf Wiedersehen here from Germany.
Guys, guess what? I'm overseas again. I'm getting a bit of a vibe here. Are you trying to get rid of me, or are you trying to utilise my experience? Don't know, but we're at FPT. Matsuura, you look after him in the UK, but they've got some cracking machines. We're at their open house, having a very quick look round. I'm a bit sort of sweaty because we're in a hurry. I'll explain in a minute. But here, boring machine, 9 metre in the X. The Castell here, look at that. 5-axis simultaneous machining. The next one, the Dino X. Again, another high-end precision machine. 5-axis there. Just look at the complexity of that component. Next one here, the Castell Taurus. This mill turning centre, but look at the size of that component. Phenomenal stuff. But, I say but again, these guys have got some fantastic machinery. Other ones we're not going to see, we'll do some little cutaways of them is a Kenta, which goes up to 6 metres in a Y boring machine, and the pièce de résistance, the Dino Star. It's absolutely huge. 20 metres in the X, but that's not limited. It can go as big as you like. It's absolutely phenomenal. But FPT, they focus on innovation, customer requirements, accuracy, empowering innovation essentially. Guys, as I said, bit of a hurry because we're in Italy. What do you think I'm going to be doing? I'm catching a boat around Venice. Ciao for now.
Now, Lyndsey, have you missed Paul on the set?
Yes.
Well, you got a fix from Germany.
Yeah, I know, but I like Paul. He's better than you.
Well, so you might, to be fair, you might see something different based on his little trip to Germany.
Yeah. I won't like him then, will I? I'm only joking. I love you too, really.
Rude, isn't she?
Now, it is the end of the show. So, if you want to watch any previous episodes, click on the links here. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And as we always say, keep those spindles turning.